The year is 2000, a time when technology was advancing rapidly, the world was preparing for a new millennium, and the United States Mint was preparing to introduce a coin that would make its mark in history, albeit quietly at first. The 2000 USA 5-cent coin, also known as the nickel, might seem like a small, unassuming piece of currency, but hidden beneath its surface lies a fascinating story. A story that begins with its design, its minting process, and its journey through the hands of collectors and enthusiasts, all the way to its astonishing value today. The nickel, as most people know, is a staple of American currency. But the 2000 edition, in particular, carries with it a rich history and a surprising twist, one that few people saw coming when it first entered circulation. To understand why this seemingly ordinary coin is so remarkable, we need to step back in time and look at the context in which it was minted. The United States had been using the same basic design for its 5-cent coin for several decades. The obverse front of the nickel had been graced by a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. This iconic image, created by the famous engraver Felix Schlag, had been in circulation since 1938. The reverse back of the coin showed a depiction of Jefferson's home, Monticello, which is still featured today on most versions of the nickel. But by the turn of the century, the United States Mint was facing a dilemma. While the nickel had served its purpose well for more than 6 decades, there was a sense that it was time for a change. The year 2000 marked the dawn of the new millennium, and the Mint was eager to commemorate this milestone with a fresh approach. The plan was to redesign the reverse of the coin, offering a new take on Jefferson's legacy. But little did they know that a small oversight would give rise to one of the most valuable nickels in U.S. history. In 1999, the U.S. Mint began the process of redesigning the 5-cent coin. They announced a competition for the new design and invited artists to submit their ideas. The winning design was one that would feature a new version of Jefferson's home, Monticello, though with a subtle difference. The coin would commemorate not only Jefferson's legacy as a founding father, but also the architectural marvel that was Monticello. The new design would pay tribute to the building's role in American history and its architectural significance. However, a mistake was made during the design process, and a tiny detail would forever alter the course of this coin's fate. A mistake so small that it would go unnoticed by most until much later. On the reverse of the 2000 nickel, a critical element of the Monticello building's architecture was omitted, the words E pluribus unum, which had been featured on previous iterations of the coin. This omission was initially overlooked by the U.S. Mint and passed through the final stages of production. The first batches of the 2000 nickels were minted, and they quickly entered circulation. The coin looked similar to its predecessors, but collectors soon began to notice something was amiss. The lack of the phrase E pluribus unum on the reverse stood out like a sore thumb. This omission was not just a minor design flaw, it was a significant error, one that set the stage for a coin to become a coveted rarity. As the mistake was realized, the U.S. Mint acted quickly to correct the issue. A new batch of 2000 nickels was minted with the correct inscription E pluribus unum on the reverse. These corrected coins soon flooded the market, but the original error-ridden version, which had no inscription, was already in circulation. It was a mistake that made the original 2000 nickel an instant rarity, and as with any rarity, collectors began to take notice. The appeal of the 2000 E pluribus unum nickel grew steadily, especially among numismatists, the experts and enthusiasts who study coins. The error wasn't immediately recognized by most people. After all, it was a small change. But as time went on, and more collectors became aware of the coin's unique characteristics, its value began to climb. In the world of coin collecting, errors like this are often highly sought after. And the 2000 nickel was no exception. The combination of its historical significance, its rarity, and the fact that it was a design error made it an irresistible item for collectors. But this coin didn't just appeal to numismatists. It also caught the attention of people who might not have otherwise cared much about coins. As news of the error spread, people began to check their pockets for the elusive 2000 nickel without the phrase e pluribus unum. The hunt for this coin became a kind of treasure hunt, with individuals scouring through change to find one of these rare pieces of history. Fast forward to today, and the 2000 USA 5-cent coin. More specifically, the 2000 no e pluribus unum nickel has become one of the most valuable nickels in existence. While the corrected version of the coin, with the proper inscription, is still in circulation and worth just 5 cents, the error coin has become a highly prized collector's item. The value of this rare nickel has skyrocketed over the years, and at the time of this video, one of these coins can fetch an astounding $69,000 at auction. That's right, $69,000 for a nickel that was once worth just 5 cents. The rarity of the error, combined with the coin's historical significance, has propelled its value to impressive heights. It's a testament to the world of coin collecting and the unexpected surprises that come with it. What was once seen as a simple mistake has now become a sought-after treasure, coveted by collectors around the globe. But how exactly do you know if you've got one of these rare error nickels? The first step is to examine your 2000 nickel closely. The key feature to look for is the absence of the phrase e pluribus unum on the reverse. If your coin is missing this important inscription, you might have just found a piece of history. While the error is subtle, it's significant enough to make the coin valuable. However, be sure to have the coin authenticated by a professional before getting too excited. Authentication is crucial in the world of numismatics, and it's the only way to be certain that your coin is genuine. So, the next time you come across a 2000 nickel, take a moment to check it carefully. Could be more than just a simple coin. It could be a small piece of history worth thousands of dollars. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who enjoys the thrill of the hunt, the story of the 2000 USA 5-cent coin reminds us all that sometimes, even the smallest mistakes can lead to the biggest rewards. In the end, the 2000 no e pluribus unum nickel serves as a reminder that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. What seems like a minor error at first glance can turn into a rare and valuable treasure. It's a testament to the rich history of American currency and the people who dedicate themselves to preserving that history. So, keep an eye out, and who knows, you might just find a nickel that changes your life. And there you have it. A simple coin, a simple mistake, and a truly extraordinary story of value and discovery. The 2000 USA 5-cent coin has gone from being a humble piece of currency to one of the most coveted and valuable coins in the world. From its humble beginnings to its skyrocketing value of $69,000, this coin is a perfect example of how history, error, and rarity can come together to create something truly remarkable. So, next time you're paying for your coffee or dropping some change into a vending machine, take a moment to check the nickels in your pocket. You never know. You might just have a small fortune waiting to be discovered. It's a crisp morning in 2007, and the United States Mint is hard at work. The nation, still riding the wave of economic change and technological progress, doesn't yet know that a particular 5-cent coin, a seemingly humble nickel, is about to become part of something much bigger. This coin would not only carry forward the legacy of American currency, but also bear witness to the winds of change that were sweeping across the country. It would be a part of history, and though the public may not have noticed it at first, one of these coins would go on to astonish collectors and coin enthusiasts, reaching a jaw-dropping value of $58,000. The 2007 USA 5-cent coin, or nickel, may seem like just another run-of-the-mill piece of change at first glance. After all, nickels had been in circulation for more than a century by the time 2007 rolled around. Yet, this particular year in coinage would prove to be significant. To fully appreciate the story behind this coin, we must first step back in time and understand its design evolution, how it came into being, and what made it special. Nickels had been part of American currency since 1866, and like many other denominations, their designs had undergone several transformations over the years. One of the most iconic and long-standing designs was that of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Jefferson's portrait had been gracing the obverse front of the nickel since 1938, and the reverse back depicted his beloved home, Monticello, the architectural masterpiece that he designed himself. This design had been standard on the nickel for decades, with only minor changes to the coin size, weight, and composition. However, by the mid-2000s, the United States Mint was beginning to explore ways to refresh the designs of its coins. The year 2004 had marked the beginning of a major redesign initiative for the U.S. 5-cent coin. In 2004, the Mint introduced the first of a series of new nickels in honor of the Louisiana Purchase. This series, known as the Westward Journey series, was a fresh take on the classic Jefferson nickel. The obverse continued to feature Jefferson's portrait, but the reverse was redesigned to reflect the spirit of exploration and expansion. This series ran through 2005 and 2006, celebrating key moments in American history. However, by 2007, the United States Mint decided to revisit the Jefferson nickel once again. It was time to give the coin a new look, one that would bring the focus back to the man himself. But this redesign was different. It wasn't just a celebration of Jefferson's legacy or a nod to American expansion. This time, the Mint was taking a more direct, more personal approach to the design, focusing on Jefferson's life and his influence on the country's development. The result? A new design featuring a modern, forward-looking portrayal of Thomas Jefferson. The 2007 nickel, designed by artist Felix Schlag, introduced a fresh, more contemporary portrait of Jefferson, which would replace the classic 1938 version that had been in circulation for decades. This updated depiction of Jefferson was meant to showcase his role as a founding father and his influence on the country's history in a more striking, dignified manner. The reverse of the 2007 nickel, however, was not drastically changed. It still depicted Monticello, Jefferson's famed home, as it had in previous versions of the coin. But there was something more to the 2007 5-cent coin that would soon catch the eye of collectors. A subtle yet significant detail that would make this particular coin one of the most sought after in the history of U.S. numismatics. Something that made it stand out from its predecessors and paved the way for its rise in value. The key to the coin's future worth was hidden in the details. As the 2007 nickels began to circulate, collectors began to notice that a small but noticeable change had occurred with this year's minting. The Mint had decided to make the 2007 nickels using a different metal composition than previous years. The traditional alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel was replaced with a new combination that consisted of 25% nickel and 75% copper. This change made the coin feel slightly different to the touch and even altered the coin's overall appearance. But it wasn't just the change in composition that made the 2007 coin special. The 2007 nickel series also saw the introduction of an experimental coin that would only add to the growing intrigue surrounding the 5-cent piece. This experimental coin, known as the 2007p variety, was minted with a slightly altered design, with a different texture on the surface of the coin. The changes were small, but to numismatists they were highly significant. As soon as these coins began circulating, collectors and enthusiasts started examining them closely. It didn't take long before it became clear that this particular variety of the 2007 nickel was different from the typical production run. Collectors soon began scouring their change for this unique version of the coin, aware of the coin's rarity and the chance it might hold tremendous value in the future. The hunt for the 2007p nickel quickly became an obsession. Many thought that the Mint's change in composition was nothing more than a temporary shift, and that it wouldn't have any lasting impact on the coin's value. But as time passed, And as collectors became more and more fascinated with this specific variety, it became clear that this coin was a rare find, one that many people had missed or overlooked in the rush of everyday transactions. By the time the 2007 coins had entered circulation in large numbers, the minting of the P variety had ended, making it a limited edition that would be sought after by numismatists and collectors alike. As demand increased for these rare coins, their value began to climb steadily. Within just a few years, the coin's worth skyrocketed. What was once a simple 5-cent piece was now a rare and highly desirable item in the world of coin collecting. But what really pushed the value of the 2007 nickel to new heights was not just the coin's composition or the change in its design, but the story behind it. The 2007 nickel, with its subtle yet distinct variations, became a symbol of the ever-evolving nature of U.S. currency. It was a snapshot of the changing world, a reminder of the passage of time and the shifting priorities of the nation. As the coin became more and more iconic, its rarity made it a true collector's dream. And the value? Well, here's where the real surprise comes in. Today, the 2007 P variety, with its experimental design and unique characteristics, can fetch an astonishing $58,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A simple nickel, a coin that once spent its days in your pocket, now holds a value of $58,000. How did it happen? How did a coin that once seemed so ordinary transform into one of the most valuable nickels in history? It's a combination of factors: the change in metal composition, the limited production of the P variety, and of course, the unwavering passion of collectors who saw the potential of this small but mighty coin. Over the years, the coin has proven that in the world of numismatics, even the most unassuming coins can become treasures beyond imagination. So, the next time you pull out a handful of change or dig through your spare change jar, take a moment to consider what might be hiding there. A seemingly insignificant nickel could turn out to be a valuable piece of history, worth thousands of dollars. The story of the 2007 USA 5-cent coin is a reminder that sometimes the most surprising things are found in the smallest of places. And there you have it, the tale of a coin that began as just another everyday nickel and ended up as a sought-after treasure worth $58,000. From its design to its minting, to its gradual rise in collector appeal, the 2007 USA 5-cent coin is a perfect example of how history, rarity, and the world of numismatics can come together to create something truly extraordinary. So, who knows? Maybe the next coin you find in your pocket will be the one that turns into a small fortune. All it takes is a keen eye, a little bit of luck, and an understanding of the fascinating world of coin collecting. In 2008, as the world was grappling with economic uncertainty, the United States Mint quietly released a 5-cent coin that would soon capture the attention of coin collectors across the country. At first glance, the 2008 USA 5-cent coin, also known as the nickel, appeared to be another ordinary piece of currency. But what the public didn't know was that this unassuming coin would play an unexpected and significant role in the history of U.S. coinage. The story of the 2008 nickel is one of change, surprise, and discovery. A tale that begins with a shift in design, a minor error, and a collector's dream that would only become clear as time went on to understand how this coin would ultimately become a sought-after treasure. We need to first explore the history of the 5-cent piece itself. The 5-cent coin, or nickel, has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1866. Its design, however, has evolved over time to reflect the changing face of American history and culture. The most iconic design, and the one that most collectors are familiar with, is the Jefferson Nickel, introduced in 1938. This design features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. By the mid-2000s, the United States Mint was engaged in an effort to refresh many of the country's coin designs, including the 5-cent piece. The year 2004 marked the beginning of the Westward Journey nickel series, which featured new reverse designs that honored the Louisiana Purchase and the Lewis and Clark expedition. These coins, while significant in their own right, were still closely tied to the past. As we approached the end of the decade, however, the mint was ready for something new, something that would reflect the changing times and the evolving relationship between the American people and their currency. This brings us to the year 2008, when the mint unveiled a redesign of the 5-cent coin that would both honor Thomas Jefferson's legacy and celebrate the contributions of other historical figures. The new design of the 2008 nickel was a continuation of the Jefferson portrait on the obverse, but with a more modern interpretation of the image. The reverse, however, was where the real changes occurred. This time, Monticello was absent, replaced by a new design that reflected Jefferson's role in the founding of the nation, his vision of democracy, and his impact on American society. The 2008 nickel was part of a series of coins commemorating the bicentennial of Jefferson's birth. In a sense, the new coin was designed to showcase Jefferson not just as a founding father, but also as an icon of the American spirit. On the reverse of the 2008 nickel, instead of Monticello, we see a depiction of a torch, an olive branch, and a bundle of 13 arrows. This design was intended to symbolize the three core principles of Jefferson's ideals: liberty, peace, and strength. These symbols were meant to reflect the values upon which the United States was founded and to remind citizens of the country's democratic heritage. At first, the 2008 nickel was widely accepted and didn't garner much attention beyond its role in the circulation of everyday currency. However, it wasn't long before eagle-eyed collectors began to notice something unusual about the coin. While most people were focused on the new design and its symbolic representations, the mint had made an error during the production process, one that would go largely unnoticed by the general public, but which would set the stage for the coin's eventual rise in value. The mistake was subtle but important. A small detail on the reverse of the 2008 nickel, a detail that affected the overall look and feel of the coin. The mint had inadvertently produced a limited number of 2008 nickels with a slight flaw in the design. Specifically, some of these coins had a misaligned torch on the reverse, leading to a coin that appeared slightly off-center. This small mistake was enough to differentiate these particular coins from the rest of the production run, making them rare and highly desirable to collectors. For most people, the 2008 nickel was simply another 5-cent piece, no more remarkable than the thousands of other nickels in circulation. But for numismatists, those passionate collectors and experts who study and value coins, the 2008-era nickel quickly became a prize. Rare coins, especially those with errors or unique features, are highly sought after in the numismatic world. And the 2008 nickel, with its subtle design flaw, was no exception. As collectors began to realize the rarity of these error coins, demand surged. People started sifting through their change, carefully examining their nickels to see if they had one of these misaligned versions. What began as a small, overlooked mistake soon turned into a feverish hunt for the error coins, with prices rising steadily as more collectors sought to secure their own piece of history. But why did this specific error coin become so valuable? Was it just the misalignment of the torch? Or was there something more at play? The answer lies in the nature of coin collecting itself. In the world of numismatics, rare and unique coins are worth far more than their face value, especially when those coins represent a departure from the norm. In the case of the 2008 era nickel, collectors didn't just see a mistake. They saw a piece of history, a coin that was part of a series commemorating Jefferson's legacy, yet also marked by a small flaw that made it stand out in the vast sea of standard 5-cent coins. As time went on, the 2008 era nickel became more and more sought after. Coin dealers, auction houses, and collectors alike began to see the potential for this unique coin to appreciate in value over the years. What had started as a simple mistake had evolved into one of the most coveted coins in the world of numismatics. So, what is the current value of the 2008 USA 5-cent coin with the misaligned torch error? At the time of writing, A single 2008-era nickel can fetch an impressive $58,000 at auction. Yes, you read that right, $58,000 for a nickel that, just a few years ago, was worth only 5 cents. The price may seem astounding, but in the world of rare coin collecting, this value is far from surprising. The rarity of the misaligned torch, combined with the coin's historical significance and its place in the broader context of Jeffersonian commemoration, has made it a true collector's item. But how can you tell if you've found one of these rare error coins? The key is to look carefully at the reverse of the nickel, where the torch is depicted. In the error coin, the torch will appear slightly misaligned, often tilted or off-center. This subtle difference is what makes the coin valuable. If you happen to come across one of these error coins, it's important to have it professionally authenticated, as the value of the coin depends on its genuine rarity. In conclusion, the 2008 USA 5-cent coin serves as a perfect example of how even the smallest mistake can lead to a coin's remarkable value. A simple error, a misalignment of a design feature, has transformed this otherwise ordinary nickel into a highly sought-after treasure worth thousands of dollars today. The story of this coin is a testament to the fascinating world of numismatics, where history, rarity, and collector demand can all combine to create something truly extraordinary. It's 2012, and while the United States is busy navigating the complexities of an ever-changing global landscape, something equally significant is quietly unfolding in the world of coinage. In the midst of economic shifts and technological advancements, a particular 5-cent coin, often overlooked and passed through hands without a second thought, emerges as something far more extraordinary than anyone might have imagined. What started as a simple nickel in circulation would soon make its way into the hearts of collectors and coin enthusiasts, ultimately becoming a stunning example of how even the most modest of coins can achieve an astonishing value. That's right. The 2012 USA 5-cent coin would become worth an incredible $50,000. To truly understand how this happened, we need to step back in time and explore not only the significance of the 2012 nickel, but also its place within the broader history of U.S. coinage. The 5-cent coin, commonly known as the nickel, has long been a fixture in American currency. Since its debut in 1866, the nickel has undergone several iterations, with many different designs reflecting the changing times, figures, and symbols that represented the nation. Since 1938, one of the most iconic designs on the 5-cent coin was the profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. His portrait graced the obverse, while the reverse featured Monticello, his famous home. This design had remained virtually unchanged for decades, making it one of the most enduring representations of American history and culture in the realm of coinage. However, by the time we entered the 21st century, the United States Mint was embarking on an exciting journey to revitalize and refresh its coin designs. The traditional Jefferson nickel had served its purpose for many years, but there was room for something new, something that would tell a story of modern America while still honoring its rich history. And so, in 2004, the Mint began its efforts to update the 5-cent coin. This marked the beginning of a new era in the design of the nickel. The Westward Journey series, released between 2004 and 2006, sought to celebrate America's exploration and expansion, particularly focusing on the Louisiana Purchase and the Lewis and Clark expedition. These designs were bold and adventurous, bringing fresh attention to the nickel and setting the stage for more innovation. WWII 2008. The U.S. Mint turned its attention back to Thomas Jefferson, but with a modern twist. The 2008 redesign featured a fresh portrait of Jefferson and the reverse of the coin, rather than depicting Monticello, instead showcased symbols of the country's democratic values, including a torch, an olive branch, and a bundle of arrows, representing liberty, peace, and strength. While this new design was in line with the Mint's goal of representing the nation's values, it was clear that it would take something truly special to spark real interest in the world of coin collecting. This brings us to the year 2012, and the next chapter in the story of the 5-cent coin. The 2012 nickel would be part of a series that would carry on the legacy of Jefferson, but with one important twist: a new reverse design that would continue to reflect the spirit of America, but with a distinctly different visual interpretation. This particular redesign of the nickel was created as part of the ongoing effort to update U.S. coinage, keeping it relevant and fresh while maintaining ties to American history. The design of the 2012 nickel focused on themes of unity and national pride. On the obverse of the coin, Thomas Jefferson's portrait remained front and center, but this time the mint offered a new, detailed interpretation of his likeness, one that showed his legacy as a founding father in a more dynamic, modern way. The reverse of the 2012 nickel was where the real story lay. Instead of depicting Monticello, which had appeared on the reverse for decades, this new design showcased a bold and impactful representation of Jefferson's vision of democracy. In its place was an image of the president's home, but with a shift toward a more abstract and contemporary depiction of Jefferson's life and ideals. Although the 2012 nickel may have seemed like just another coin in a long line of designs, it wasn't long before coin collectors began to notice something curious about this particular release. As always, collectors and enthusiasts paid close attention to the details, seeking out subtle variations and errors that might set a particular coin apart from the rest. And in the case of the 2012 nickel, it didn't take long for the discovery of a rare and unexpected feature, one that would have a huge impact on the coin's value. Some of the 2012 nickels released into circulation were found to have a unique, slightly misaligned design on the reverse. The mistake was relatively minor, but to experienced collectors, it was enough to catch their attention. The misalignment of the reverse design, which altered the positioning of Jefferson's house and the surrounding elements, made these coins incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. The mint had not intended for these misaligned coins to enter circulation, but a small batch of them had made it through the production process, finding their way into the hands of ordinary people. As the years passed, the rarity of these misaligned 2012 nickels became more apparent. Collectors began searching their change for these special coins, aware of how much they were worth. The misalignment, though subtle, was what made these coins unique and highly prized. And as demand for these rare nickels grew, so too did their value. A small mistake, one that might have been easily overlooked, had turned a simple nickel into an unexpected treasure. But how much were these misaligned 2012 nickels worth? As it turns out, the rarity of the error, combined with the coin's place in the larger context of American history and its role in the ongoing evolution of U.S. coinage, contributed to its soaring value. Today, a single 2012 misaligned nickel can sell for an astonishing $50,000 at auction. That's right. What once seemed like an ordinary 5-cent coin is now worth tens of thousands of dollars. The discovery of these rare misaligned nickels is a perfect example of how, in the world of numismatics, even the smallest of errors can lead to a coin's immense value. A simple mistake, overlooked by many, has turned the 2012 USA 5-cent coin into one of the most sought-after collectibles in the country. So, how can you tell if you've found one of these rare error coins? It's all in the reverse design. To spot the misalignment, carefully examine the details on the reverse side of the coin, where Jefferson's home is depicted. If the design seems slightly off-center or misaligned, you could be holding a valuable piece of history. Of course, if you do find one of these rare coins, it's essential to have it professionally authenticated to ensure its legitimacy and value. The story of the 2012 USA 5-cent coin is a fascinating one, demonstrating how even the most seemingly insignificant changes and errors can result in something truly extraordinary. A simple misalignment, a design detail overlooked by many, has turned this humble coin into a remarkable piece of history. And for collectors who are lucky enough to find one of these rare misaligned nickels, the potential for a small fortune is certainly within reach. So, the next time you're rifling through your change, Take a moment to appreciate the story behind each coin. You never know, you might just stumble upon a rare misaligned 2012 nickel, ready to make your fortune. In the world of numismatics, coins have a way of telling stories, of representing not just monetary value, but also the hopes, dreams, and challenges of the times in which they were minted. Such is the case with the 2015 USA 5-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary nickel that has, over time, developed a remarkable story of its own, one that begins with its design, continues through the unique errors it holds, and culminates in a staggering $45,000 value for those lucky enough to find a rare version of the coin. But how did a coin that most people see as just another everyday piece of change become worth a fortune? To understand how this happened, we need to take a step back and explore the history and context of the 5-cent coin itself. The 5-cent coin, or nickel, has been an essential part of U.S. currency for well over 150 years. First introduced in 1866, the nickel has evolved over the decades in both design and significance. While the earliest versions of the coin depicted images related to liberty, the most iconic and enduring design in recent history has been the profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. This design, which first appeared on the Jefferson Nickel in 1938, became synonymous with the coin and remained relatively unchanged for decades. But by the time the United States Mint began to think about redesigning the coin once again in the 2000s, it was clear that something new was needed, something that would reflect both the historical importance of Jefferson while also symbolizing the contemporary spirit of America. This desire to refresh and revitalize U.S. coinage led to the introduction of new designs in the early 21st century. By the time the Mint reached 2015, the goal was clear: to continue honoring Jefferson's legacy while incorporating fresh, modern elements that would make the coin relevant for today's world. In 2015, the U.S. Mint introduced the newest iteration of the Jefferson Nickel, part of an ongoing effort to update and refine its designs. The obverse of the coin still featured the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, albeit with a slightly updated rendering of his likeness to give the design a more contemporary feel. This was a nod to Jefferson's enduring legacy while simultaneously signaling the passage of time and the evolving identity of the United States. The reverse, however, was where the true story of the 2015 nickel began to unfold. For the first time since the coin's inception, the reverse of the 2015 5-cent coin was redesigned to feature a new symbol, a large, bold, and modern interpretation of Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia. This design was different from previous versions of the coin, which had traditionally depicted a more classical rendering of Monticello. The updated design emphasized the architectural features of Jefferson's home, reflecting a more stylized, almost abstract interpretation of the structure. This new Monticello design was intended to evoke Jefferson's influence on the early formation of the United States while bringing the coin into the 21st century. However, what began as a simple change in design quickly became something more remarkable. While the new reverse design was meant to represent Jefferson's legacy and the American ideals he championed, something unexpected happened during the minting process that would forever alter the coin's destiny. In what was likely a production error, a small batch of 2015 nickels was minted with a noticeable flaw on the reverse side. This flaw involved the positioning of Monticello, which was slightly misaligned on certain coins, causing it to appear off-center at first glance. This error might seem insignificant. After all, minor flaws are not uncommon in the minting process. However, in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest deviation from the intended design can turn a seemingly ordinary coin into a rare and valuable treasure. For numismatists and collectors who closely monitor the minting process and keep a sharp eye out for errors, the misaligned Monticello on the 2015 nickel was a discovery that would quickly capture their attention. Coin collectors are particularly drawn to misaligned designs because they represent an error in the production process, often making them much rarer than regular, unblemished coins. The 2015 misaligned Monticello nickels were no exception. As word spread about this error, demand for these rare coins skyrocketed. Collectors began scouring their change, hoping to find one of these misaligned versions of the 2015 nickel. What had once been a routine coin in circulation was now being hunted down by enthusiasts, with the potential for a sizable reward if the error was found. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is everything. A coin's value increases exponentially when it is rare, and the 2015 misaligned nickel was no exception. The flawed design made these nickels incredibly valuable, especially for those who were able to secure one of the few coins that had made it into circulation with the misalignment. But as with any rare coin, the value didn't stop at just the uniqueness of the error. The 2015 nickel had a special significance beyond just its production flaw. This coin, like all U.S. currency, carries with it a piece of American history. The 2015 redesign was part of the ongoing efforts by the U.S. Mint to refresh the nation's coinage, keeping it in line with modern sensibilities while still honoring the past. The new Monticello design was symbolic of Jefferson's influence on the early United States, and as such, the 2015 nickel took on a deeper meaning for collectors. It wasn't just a coin with a production error, it was a coin that told a larger story about the evolving nature of the country, its values, and its history. As a result, collectors began to see the 2015 misaligned nickel not just as an error, but as a key piece of U.S. numismatic history. Its significance went beyond the minting mistake. It was a representation of the continuing transformation of American currency and the nation's ongoing relationship with its past. This is part of what made the coin so appealing to collectors, and it helped push its value to new heights. So, how much is a 2015 USA 5-cent coin worth today? You might be surprised to learn that a single misaligned 2015 nickel, in good condition, can fetch an astonishing $45,000 at auction. That's right, a 5-cent coin, originally worth only a fraction of a dollar, can now command tens of thousands of dollars because of its rarity and unique error. This price is a testament to the power of numismatics, where even the smallest flaw can turn a simple coin into an object of great value. For those lucky enough to find one of these misaligned coins, the potential windfall is extraordinary. But it's important to note that not all 2015 nickels with a slight misalignment are worth this much. The value depends heavily on the severity of the misalignment, the condition of the coin, and, of course, the demand among collectors at any given time. However, even a slightly misaligned coin can still fetch a significant sum, making the 2015 nickel a prized addition to any collector's portfolio. If you're lucky enough to come across a 2015 misaligned Monticello nickel, it's essential to have it professionally authenticated. The value of these error coins hinges on their authenticity and the rarity of the misalignment, so having the coin verified by an expert is crucial to ensuring that it's worth the price tag it's commanding. The story of the 2015 USA 5-cent coin is a fascinating one. What began as a simple design change turned into a numismatic treasure, thanks to a small but impactful error during the minting process. The 2015 misaligned nickel represents a key moment in the history of American coinage, one that highlights how even the smallest mistakes can lead to extraordinary value. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment below. Let us know if you've ever come across any rare coins in your own change, or if you'd love to see more stories about incredible coins and their surprising values. We'd love to hear your thoughts, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!